They couldn't have written a better story. It all began with one of the greatest rounds in boxing history.
Bowe stuns him with an uppercut, and just like that, the champion struggles to stay on his feet. Look at Holyfield, reversing the tide of the battle. The champion now has Bowe wobbling.
By night's end, the foundation had been laid for one of boxing's most scintillating and bizarre rivalries. 1 year later, an intruder would interrupt their anticipated reunion.
Somebody in a parachute has just landed on the edge of the ring.
With wars so intense, they could have fought till dawn.
The crowd rises to its feet. For the second year in a row, they fought the fight of the year.
Like a migration, the month of November would bring them back to their past, to the same city, in the same ring, for the final chapter. After 24 memorable rounds of boxing, what more could follow? Bowe and Holyfield, apart, two truly gifted fighters. Together, the rivalry of the decade. Now that's a story worth telling again.
From Caesars Palace in Las Vegas, Nevada, HBO Sports presents World Championship Boxing. Join us now as we take a look back at the most recent episode of one of the most exciting sagas in boxing today. The 3-year rivalry between former heavyweight champions Riddick Bowe and Evander Holyfield. The outdoor arena at Caesars Palace in Las Vegas, Nevada. Here 2 years ago, on November 6, 1993, Evander Holyfield and Riddick Bowe fought for the second time. A bizarre and unusual fight which was talked about for the past 2 years. Now, on November 4, 1995, they meet here once again, and once again produce a bizarre and incomparable battle which will be talked about for years to come. Tale of the tape between Evander Holyfield and Riddick Bowe, and you see all of the physical and statistical advantages that Bowe brings into the ring. 5 years younger, 3 inches taller, 27 pounds heavier, and 3½ inches longer reach. Punch stat numbers, Larry, and we're going to look at totals from their first 2 fights in which Riddick Bowe was exceptionally busy for a big heavyweight.
Now, they throw about 20% more punches, according to our statistical whizzes, than normal heavyweights throw, even on a championship level. Now you can see the average punches for a round. Holyfield is more judicious in throwing punches. Bowe, as you can see, is throwing 50% more punches than Holyfield. Holyfield tends to throw his punches in bunches. The jab, which many people think is the key here, you can see that Bowe has an edge. He should have a bigger edge, according to some experts.
And the rules of the bout with our unofficial ringside scorer, Harold Letterman.
The Riddick Bowe Evander Holyfield fight will be 12 rounds. There is no standing 8 count. The 3 knockdown rule is in effect. Only the referee can stop the fight, and you can be saved by the bell only in the last round. Jim.
And Harold, we are ready now for Evander Holyfield to make the walk to the ring. In his last fight, he became the first man ever to put Ray Mercer on the canvas. Holyfield's walk-in music is a gospel tune. Not by power, not by might, but only through faith in the Lord.
And one of the things that is inspiring Holyfield, he told us the other day, is his wish that he would be able to carry the Olympic torch at the start of the games in his hometown of Atlanta next year. He thinks that if he can actually be the champion, that would enhance his chances.
Professional record, 31 wins. Losses to Riddick Bowe and Michael Moorer. 22 knockouts, and he has vowed to score a knockout tonight. Riddick Bowe lives up to a promise that he would leave his dressing room and come to the ring as soon as Evander Holyfield had completed his walkout. So late, but as good as his word with regard to procedure. The pictures on the robe he's wearing are of his 5 children. The most recent addition, a little baby named Diamond. She's 3 months old. Once upon a time, he seemed like an oversized teddy bear to me, Jim. Now he looks like a full-grown grizzly. By his own admission, he says he's learned a lot, particularly since the loss to Holyfield.